My name's Alec. So, you really don't know me. I'll tell you this, I love video games, and that's typically why video game channels do these videos, but I really just love stories. I like innovation in games. I like the culture. I'm more into like, I guess say the meta of video games. The problem with someone like me who loves video games, I'll admit this. I'm terrible at video games. Now, I have games that I'm really good at. Okay? I will openly say my best video game is probably Call of Duty. Like, I probably think if I were to put myself in a room with very random people at any given time, I'm the best Call of Duty player in that room. But when it comes to a bunch of other competitive games, not so great. I was decent at Overwatch. At one point, I think in Season 2, I was gold in League of Legends, and now I can never get past bronze after placing iron. Valorant, I'm iron. Rainbow Six, I think I'm silver. Terrible at fighting games. Play a lot of JRPGs on easy mode because I really just like the story. Racing games, I'm alright. I'm actually really bad at Mario Kart. I'm not great at video games. I'm not trying to put myself down or do a self-deprecating joke. I'm just being honest, is that I realize that about myself, but like, I love them. I'm not great at video games. So there was always a game that eluded me. A game that I never really thought would be my kind of game. And that was the Dark Souls series. And honestly, it was really tough. I mean, you know Dark Souls. If you know Dark Souls, you know that game is just meant for being hard. Yet, I would almost say, after playing it, it's hard, yes. But it's also not too hard at the core of it. And so I want to make this video as an appreciation for somebody that's extremely late to the Dark Souls series, but kind of give their appreciation for what it is and what I learned through playing Dark Souls 1 and 3. I didn't play 2 out of recommendations for friends. I really only wanted to play for anticipation of Elden Ring, of how much hype it gets, or how big of a game it's going to be. And I think that's really cool for the culture of video games, but I wanted to really appreciate it on another level, and that's by playing some From Software games. Now, hey, why don't I play Bloodborne or Demon Souls or, Sekiro before making this? I wanted to do this because coming off of one of the last fights of Dark Souls 3, it really had me thinking of wanting to make this video. I really had no intention, so I'm not going to have a lot of gameplay. I just kind of wanted to play it to play it. And after playing Dark Souls 3 for sure, I really started realizing this game, in a way, has been what I've been looking for. This game kicked my butt like it does everyone else. Let me tell you why I'm good at Call of Duty. Good at Call of Duty because it's fast. You don't have to have super good aim. I don't know, I've just played it a long time. It's my best game. I'm really good at Call of Duty. But this game requires a few things. The biggest one, I'd say, is patience. More than the coordination, more than the skill, it's the patience. And I don't have that. This game really taught me to wait. This game really taught me to learn, to think, to not get frustrated. But I still got frustrated. This game really challenged me, not because of it's a challenging game, that's there innately, but it also challenged me because it's different from my game style of anything. Even in League of Legends, I like playing champions with shorter cooldowns and that can be aggressive, even though I die very easily. I play anything with a sword in most MMO games. In this game, yeah, I stuck with strength and dex and just some bulky builds because it was how I like to play, but also my friends recommended me to start. And I went in guideless, believe it or not. I only looked up what a Titanite demon was, as I really wanted to make its name for a TikTok. The point is, this game has enemies and bosses that are just patterns and precise timing that you know is coming, that you know is about to happen, and yet you don't wait. You get greedy, and you're gonna see a few times in these runs that I just get greedy, and that's what gets me killed. And if I had only waited maybe another rotation, maybe another hit, I would have killed them. And I didn't. And I also would find myself in a rut because another part of this game was the mental aspect of getting frustrated, of thinking this is impossible, this is unfair. But if so many people have praised the game, if so many people have beaten it in challenge modes, no damage, no deaths, all that stuff, then you can beat it. You know why? So you love video games and you want to see why people love Dark Souls. So I fought through and I was learning. Now, yes, sometimes there were cheese strategies. Yes, I used the Black Knight Halberd in Dark Souls 1. I had to. And somebody told me about the Drake Sword, but still, I did my best. That made the game easier. It didn't make the game easy by any means. Some bosses I got to cheese, but some bosses I didn't. Some bosses didn't matter how strong I was. If I wasn't going to learn the rotation, if I wasn't going to be patient, I wasn't going to win. It really challenged my playstyle. And And I really like that because no matter how frustrating, no matter how hard, it was always rewarding to even just progress to say, dang, I only got 30% health last run, and this time I got him down 40% health, or, the other way around. I don't know. You felt accomplished. You felt really good about that. And so I would say, if anything, the gameplay has definitely been rewarding while at the same time challenging. Because some bosses, say like Gael, they like the Nameless King. Eventually, it's all about just patience and learning and saying, okay, I know exactly how to do this. Now, I'll say I think some things are bullcrap. Put it this way, I spent 24 hours on Freedom. One boss took me 24 hours, slowly progging, and sometimes not even being able to get to phase 2 because it took me so long. I would be stuck on phase 1 after such close runs, and then be stuck at phase 1 for another 30 minutes because mentally I couldn't get there. 24 hours for that boss, whereas Pontiff took me about 30-45 minutes, impressively enough. But you know what boss also took me an extremely long time? My second longest boss? It was Vort of the Boreal Valley, the first major boss of the game. Are you kidding me? What? Yes, you heard that. About 8 hours to kill Vort. I stayed up very late though. And that was the first boss. Maybe it's the lack of equipment. Maybe it was that I was playing late at night. But really, it was just, I couldn't do it. I could phase him with my eyes closed, but phase 2 kept beating me up. From one of the hardest bosses in Dark Souls history to potentially one of the easiest pushover bosses ever. Are you kidding me? And that's kind of what I did. That brings me to my point, is I realized Dark Souls really hits for everyone differently. I have friends that are way better at League of Legends and Valorant than me, but they tried one boss of Dark Souls or Sekiro and said, not for me, not doing this. Yet I was saying, hey, I want to push through and see what this game's about. And that's what's cool. Hearing my friends talk about their experiences with certain bosses lets me know that, man, everybody has different challenges. Everybody does differently. I mean, there's even different playstyles. Some people are like, I've never used that weapon, but go for it. One friend was like, go pyromancy. And maybe I will one day. But I also found myself saying, man, I don't know about Dark Souls 1, and maybe that's because it was so rigorous for the first time. But midway through Dark Souls 3, I was like, man, I think I could definitely replay this and try something new. It was that rewarding and such a jump. I think that's what's cool, is there's so many different playstyles and so many different ways you can approach the game and the bosses and the way you play. I thought that was really cool. It made me realize that this was kind of a game I had always been looking for. Cool animations, cool enemies, straight action. I didn't realize to find that, I have to fight for it, quite literally. There are other aspects of the game. I think this music has been brilliant for the different bosses. I think the environments are so cool, even if I don't understand the lore. It's a good thing I have friends that love this series, because they were able to explain the lore to me at certain areas. I would just say, man, that guy's cool. And if it was referenced again, I'd be like, that's really cool. Like, I have no idea who my favorite character might be. It could be Gael. It could be Artorias. I really don't know. Stuff implied with the Nameless King and Ornstein, that's really cool too. I also don't understand it, but it's also cool when I kind of understand it. They've built this world that really shocked me. That I was just like, man, Dark Souls fans are just kind of weird or really hardcore. But then I realized, I was like, I kind of want to understand this stuff. I kind of want to see what's going on here. And I found myself wanting to do research. I want to finish the game first. And I'm on the last section of the game at the time of recording this. I just really wanted to share this video. It made me realize that it's not about being good at the game. It's really just about playing it, appreciating it, and understanding it. You're not going to take the time to dodge roll and learn how to dodge roll correctly, which I really didn't get till midway through Dark Souls 1. But it's when the game kind of clicked and how dodging worked that I found myself having fun. That I found myself understanding the game more. In the first game, how the humanities grow the further and further into the game you get, representing potentially people that quit. And I realized I could be one of those. But I'm not. I'm going to be somebody that beats the game. I'm going to be somebody that figures it out. And that's what I'm talking about. The moment where it clicked. Because some games you're drawn in. A lot of JRPGs have a banger of an intro. Some shooter games have these huge campaigns, or just the multiplayer just sinks you in. Some games that are story games, just, yeah, it's the story that brings you in. Dark Souls, you actually know what you're about to get because you've heard everyone talk about it. These games are stupid hard, difficult, and sometimes unfair. And you're actually paying money to play this? What? But, you have to buy into it. And when that moment clicks, like why these games are fun, it makes the game worth it. And I think that's another cool aspect of this game. It's crazy. You're hearing somebody that's not really into this genre, how they fell in love with it. Because I think by the end of this, I really do love this game. I don't know where it sits in my top, but I definitely am somebody that can now say, give it a try, and then try again, prepare to die. That wasn't a warning. That was a motto. That's the point. I'm really starting to understand that. I love conquering bosses. I love figuring out the game. And I love playing it. It's weird. Playing this game feels like playing a video game. These big epic monsters and battles that you want to do with these impactful moves. When I learned to parry and riposte, those epic stabs and thrusts, that made me feel really good. When I finally learned how to backstab, that was a whole nother moment. I think about when I fought Havel. I think about fighting Artorias for the first time. That on my second try, I beat Moonlit Butterfly. And it actually took me about 30 minutes to beat Gaping Dragon. Abyss Watchers took me a few hours. Wolnir, what a cakewalk. This game gave me moments. This game gave me memories. This game is memorable. Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it. It's a very memorable game and experience. It got some of my friends who watched me play get back and start another playthrough. Some of them for the 5th or 6th time, but they hadn't done it in a year or two. I think that's really cool because it also has that magic gaming power from when you were a kid of, I want to try. I want to do that. I got into Dark Souls 1 because I wanted to play some From Software games before Elden Ring came out. I wasn't sure if I was going to do Dark Souls 3, but everybody was like, you should do it. And I watched a video of some of my favorite YouTubers play Dark Souls 3. And it was a fight with the Nameless King. And as I watched it, I was like, that looks so cool. Like, I've not seen anything like that in a video game. I really haven't. I knew I had to try it. I'm glad I did. Why did I make this video? I just wanted to give a perspective of another person to maybe convince somebody else like me that normally doesn't play these games to maybe try them. And I ended up finding a game that I loved. If anything, maybe it's also a pride just to say, hey, I beat Dark Souls 1 and 3. Yeah, I'm just somebody that's good at Call of Duty, not really good at anything else, but I managed to beat my way through one of those hard games. Can I say? It was so worth it. Give it a shot. I know I love Dark Souls. I'm about to try out Sekiro after this, and then I can't wait for Elden Ring. I know eventually I'm going to have to try Bloodborne and Demon Souls. I want to do this whole library. Yes, I will go back to Dark Souls 2, maybe eventually, once I've played a few easy games to, get it off my mind. To maybe give myself some mental healing, because there are times where I just look at the screen and want to scream and yell and make noises. But for now, I'm going to beat this game, enjoy Elden Ring, maybe enjoy Sekiro. It won Game of the Year, so it has to be decent, For now, I'm OwlickWho. Thanks for watching. If you like this video or want to see what else I'm going to play, give it a follow. Thanks, and I'll see you next time.